So I recently watched Godzilla Minus 1 and I loved it. I was excited for this movie ever since the first trailers came out, and honestly, I think this movie was partially what Godzilla 2014 should have been. No one in Godzilla 2014, or the Monsterverse in general, really compares to the cast of Minus 1, except for maybe Joe Brody, who dies within the first 30 minutes of Godzilla 2014. I loved following Koichi in his struggles with PTSD and survivor's guilt after a very close encounter with Godzilla, and his personal vendetta against Goji is very believable and you really root for him to take down the Big G. The kid has an energy that's just contagious. The captain's just a really fun and dedicated guy, and I really like the doc. He's charming, and his plan to kill Godzilla is probably the most interesting in the series. Not going to spoil, but it's pretty elaborate and well thought out. And the bond between the four feels genuine because of everything they went through together. Noriko's moments with Koichi are just plain sweet, and I like the newfound family between the two and the little girl that Noriko adopts early in the film. These characters made for some great drama. I was legitimately invested in the human scenes in the movie, even during the especially talkative scenes. The movie plays it straight like the original Gojira, and it's really effective. Godzilla is a legit terrifying threat in this movie, and his scenes are the obvious highlight. I really like the Big G's design in this movie. I was a little iffy on seeing it in the trailers, but seeing the actual film has won me over. It kind of reminds me of how he looked like in that one non-Godzilla movie he appeared in. I do think that Shin Godzilla is my favorite design for Goji, but Minus 1 gives it a serious run for its money. The special effects are pretty spectacular. You really do feel every impact of Godzilla's atomic breath. I also appreciate how the movie has Godzilla's rampage take place during the day. We get to see Godzilla and its destruction in full clarity, and it doesn't have the same problem that 2014 had where some scenes were really hard to see. The destruction and the battles with the military really show just how unstoppable Godzilla is. And the final act, oh man, I dare not spoil it, but the finale is one of the best in the entire franchise. All this is backed up by an amazing score. I think Shin Godzilla still has my favorite soundtrack, but Godzilla Minus 1 is still fantastic, and I love the original tracks in this film. I know I made a lot of comparisons to Godzilla 2014 and Shin Godzilla to Godzilla Minus 1, but that's because I thought Minus 1 did what Godzilla 2014 tried to do. Be a Godzilla movie that played it straight with an emotional story and a scary Godzilla. But where 2014 fumbled in some aspects, Minus 1 soared. And Shin Godzilla is my favorite Godzilla film, so I will inevitably make some comparisons to it. Overall, you should check out Godzilla Minus 1 while it's still in the theaters. You will have to read subtitles, but it'll be worth it. It's nice to see Godzilla Minus 1 do so well. Seeing people talk about how good this movie is, and therefore becoming Godzilla fans, it really gives me a good feeling. Toho really does pop up out of the blue and just made one of the best Godzilla films ever made. And Godzilla himself really just took a 10-year long rest and returned in 2014 and showed everyone who is the king in this past decade. It's great.